Why don't you just get an agency job? Why are you still in private practice? Because I've had a lot of different challenges that I've had to overcome. My answer has been consistently one thing, which is the day after I pass my licensing exam, when I'm done with the licensure process, I want to walk into a job that I created, that I love, that is as successful as I want to be, and it's for me. It doesn't rely on anyone else. I'm not building anyone else's dream. I want to walk into my dream, and that takes time. There is no better time to do it than when you're a pre-licensee.
I love that.
When you build your dream, you get that license, get that silly paper with your picture on it, which is never a good picture, and then live your dream.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great deal to me.
You know, I love the fact that you reframed pre-license, that part of our licensure. Right? The pre-license part is very, very important because that's the process.
Yes.
And for those of us who've been licensed for a while, we look back and go, man, I should have been more mindful about my own process so I don't have to figure it out now.
Oh,
you know, I'm still doing some professional development. I'm still doing all those things. I look back and go, wait, yeah, that did happen to me. And now it really built who I am.
Ernesto, you're saying something that is so beautiful. And it's something that I haven't actually spoken about before, but I've had in my head consistently. As I observe a lot of licensed people in our field, really successful, starting off, whatever stage, the number one thing that I honestly feel sad about, and I feel is plaguing our industry, is once you get licensed, you stop living the pre-licensee mind. And that's actually one of my goals, is to never stop being a pre-licensed person. Because when you're pre-licensed, if you think about it, you have the eagerness, you have the creativity, you have the courage to learn. You ask questions. You're willing to work really, really hard because you have a goal, whether it's 3,000 hours, it's income, whatever it is. Yeah. You are willing to be mentored. You seek out how to be successful. There are a lot of people who get licensed, and for some reason they get to a place where they're like, oh, now I've made it.
Yep.
And they lose that. That's when you get cynical and you get jaded, and you start making promises to other people saying, make $1 million like I do. Like that's what this was about for you when you started. Yeah. And so that's something that I wish a lot of people recognize. Don't stop being a pre-licensee just because you passed 2 exams. The most powerful place to be is when you are a beginner, when you're a pre-licensee.
You're always learning, because our field is so evolving, not only in just private practice, but in modalities. And we want to be able to just move forward.
Absolutely.
As a supervisor, looking back, I'm learning a lot about my own process working with pre-licensed clinician. And it's a reflection of not only who I was back then, but how I need to be to continue learning. Because, a lot of times we treat, especially having a business, employees, we treat me up here and then everybody here. But no, there's this balance back and forth.
Absolutely. In fact, this is something that you and I have spoken about, even the way we talk about pre-licensed therapists. This is the first time I've had a conversation, I'm not exaggerating, with a licensed person where we haven't used the intern name, the label intern, or something I'm hearing more now is unlicensed, which also bothers me. They both talk about how you're somehow deficient because you're not licensed.
Yeah.
Are you where a licensed therapist is? Absolutely not. Is that a bad thing? Absolutely not. So pre-licensed, not unlicensed.
Yeah.
Not intern, not anything else.
Yeah. And we're all in that process, no matter if you're licensed or not. Now, here's one thing that you mentioned earlier is I love the idea that your outside forces, who you hang out with, all of those things play into your who you are inside as a clinician, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Speak more about that, because I'm I'm going to be upfront. I am a total believer in whoever you associate with, even your feed, even what you post on Facebook, who you hire as a coach or a consultant or videographer, whoever, needs to be in line about your philosophy and your direction in life. Now, here's the thing. Just because you want to hire a professional to help you with your business practice doesn't mean you throw common sense out the door.
Yes.
Right?
Oh,
Speak a little bit to that.
Yes, because I often notice this. It's like picking one or the other. If I have a private practice coach or a mentor, it means I must stop thinking.
Yes.
I don't know where that came from. I don't know how that happens. But I see that a lot, where a lot of therapists, I won't even say pre-license or license, things that you already know go out of the window because you've now paid $500,000 to this person who promises that you will make $500,000 in 5 minutes next week.
Yes.
Which brings me to my actual first point. What is it that you're buying into when you select these people to be in your life? So whether it's a business coach or whether it's a friend or whoever it is. In fact, I'll compare it to the dating process. You don't go out and decide to commit to the first person you see. Date, right?
Yeah.
You go out, you figure out who the person is, you see if you vibe, you do all of that. Finding people to be in your professional journey does not have to be any different. We spend more time trying to figure out, is an iPhone better for me, or is it an Android, or if you're me, if a flip phone is better.
Yeah, there's a reason why she's saying this, because I actually made fun of her because she still had a flip phone when I first met her. So that's the context of that, guys.
I still stand by my flip phone. It was the greatest. It lasted for 7 years, never needed an upgrade because it didn't do anything.
Yeah, her husband, James, he and I just could not stop laughing about this. I mean, we just gave her a hard time. So that's the context of that piece.
That is the context. So going back to that analogy, you spend more time finding a phone and then you sign up for upgrades and things. But for some reason, when it comes to business coaches, your mentors, we don't function like that. And I think that's one of the first mistakes.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And, a lot of times social media really defines how we think. And if someone is on social media posting, they have a podcast, a video, YouTube that people are watching, and then we get this starstruck, right? We go, oh my gosh, let me go to them. Do not do that. Vet them. Talk to people.
Yes.
Right? Talk to people who've already gone to their program or, done their video. Do your research.
Do your research. And along with that, something that I spent a good 6 months before picking my business mentors is figure out what they stand for. And that is something that has to match with what you stand for. So if you are someone where your vision, your goal is to make $100,000 in 2 months, you're going to look for people who will promise you that and hopefully have made that amount for themselves. And they're not just kind of, saying that. Now, if you are someone, for me, I'm not motivated by money. I need it, you make it, and then that's that. What I am motivated by is 2 things. One is my mission in life is to shed the stigma that exists around struggle. I talk about struggle really openly. If I have a mentor who keeps telling me how, don't talk about that, talk about the positives, don't talk about the struggles, we're not going to work.
Yeah, not reality.
Exactly. And the second one, and this one I think is really, really important. For me, my vision image, my success image is, and I've shared this in a video before, is getting to a place where I'm at this kitchen table with lots of family, lots of friends, we're all laughing, there's great food, and everyone's happy. That's my image that says I'm successful. It's not a bank account. With the result, when I go out to find a business coach or a business mentor, I want to see if that's how they experience success as well. And I feel really, really grateful. I found mentors where they talk about that. In fact, I found mentors who themselves say, why do people keep talking about success as having these flashy cars and, these big homes and laying on the beach all day to show how you don't really have to work? which is BS. You were up till 3 creating a landing page and a sales funnel. Don't
With
buy it at
McDonald's.
all. Exactly.
Yeah, with chicken nuggets right next to you.
Exactly.
Not filet mignon.
Not at all, because you probably can't afford it yet.
Yeah.
No.
Let's just be real.
Exactly. Let's be real. And so I think in even picking a business mentor and or a success coach or whatever you want to call it, see if what you stand for and what they stand for, they make sense. Because if that doesn't make sense, it's not going to work out in the way you want.
Absolutely. So everyone, here's what I want you guys to do, okay? I want you to keep an eye out for Nam being one of these famous guru that will help other clinicians become successful, have that mindset that will make them successful, because I'm a really good predictor of people. I'm gonna be upfront. I'm gonna be upfront. Watch her. Watch what she does. This is the kind of people that you want to surround yourself with, not the ones that always put money signs in front of you, right? The ones that my freedom is being around people. They're laughing, we're eating, we're doing this, we're doing that, around people. That's the type of value that is wealthier than anyone with a Porsche and whatever. I mean, those things are nice. Those things
are nice.
Okay, they're nice.
Yeah.
But freedom is a really, really big thing in private practice. That's what private practice can give you.
And it goes back to the mindset piece. The happier you are in your life, the better you're going to serve your clients, which, let's remember, that's why most of us got into this field, is to help people, right? That's what you say in your grad school interview.
Yeah.
So let's stick with that. The happier and healthier you feel, the better you're going to serve.
Awesome.
And sure, the more money you have, the happier you feel. That's something that a lot of people talk about. I can tell you straight up, when I was at a place of $60 for that week's groceries or groceries for that month, I wasn't unhappy. I was stressed, but I wasn't unhappy. And there's not a single client I was seeing that was getting served in a way that was less in quality than they get served today when I'm not in the $60 place.
Absolutely.
My clients still got served, and that had nothing to do with my bank account.
Awesome. How does someone get a hold of you? How does someone, so let's say, oh my gosh, I want to refer someone to NAM and for counseling or whatever. How do we get it? Or even if in the future, if you decide to be one of these mentors for a licensed clinician, I know I'm kind of pushy that way, right? So how do we get a hold of you?
So the best way, there are 2 ways to get a hold of me that are the most reliable. One is email. So my email address is nam, N-A-M, @narrativetherapysd.com. And the second is Facebook. I spend a lot of time on Facebook, and I am not ashamed to say that.
Hallelujah.
I love it. I think it's the greatest thing that has happened in a really long time, and I live there. Now, here's the thing to remember. I don't respond to messages like that's what my life depends on. So give me a little time. I promise I will reply. But that's the best way to get a hold of me. If you want a really fast response, in the subject line, just make like a Game of Thrones reference. You will likely get a reply much faster. I'm just saying. The inside way of getting to me is to do that.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Awesome. Okay, awesome. So that is how we are going to get a hold of you. Game of Thrones, guys, okay? Either that or just put Gandalf.
Yes.
Right, Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones.
Yeah. I wish we can get into the Lord of the Rings reference and Game of Thrones reference, but we don't have time. But Nam, this was such an incredible pleasure to speak with you because, I deal with pre-licensed clinicians, licensed clinicians, trainees who really need to hear another piece of their journey, right?
Yeah.
I can speak to it because of my, I've been there. But at the same time, I think it resonates more because it's a whole generation of clinicians that really need to hear your voice.
Yes, we need to take care of our future generations.
Right.
We need to improve our field by serving those who are going to treat our kids and our future generations.
True.
It's not going to be the person who's licensed for 25 years. It's the student in grad school right now.
Absolutely.
Our future of our field is in their hands. It's not in our hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's been an absolute pleasure, Ernesto. Thank you so much for inviting me to do this.
This was fun. This was fun.
It was.
All right. So everyone, again, my name is Ernesto, licensed marriage and family therapist and creator of filmit.com. Thank you so much for listening. And again, Nam, thank you.
Thank you, Ernesto.
Bye-bye.